Hello, welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rav Eliezer Melamed Shlit'a. We began a new section yesterday that deals with Hachana l'Shabbos, preparing for Shabbos, so we're going to continue along those lines. Let's talk about Friday, Yom Shishi. Even though, from an absolute point of view, every single day of the week is meant to prepare for Shabbos, nonetheless, Ikar ha'achana l'Shabbos tzricha lehei asos b'yom shishi. The main preparation for Shabbos is really done on Yom Shishi, what we call Friday. Shne'emar, because the pasuk in Shmo says, V'hayo b'yom ha'shishi v'hechinu eis asher yaviu, and it's on the sixth day that they would prepare everything that was regarding the mun. U'kashem shebnei Yisrael b'midbar hayu nizonim mehaman shiyar b'layla. The Jewish people, when they were in the desert, they achieved their sustenance and their nourishment from the mun, the manna from heaven, which came at night. Umiyad baboker yom hashishi yatzu l'lakto. And on the morning of the sixth day, on Friday morning, they went out to collect it. Kein mitzuvel hisdarez lechenes tzarchei hashabbos baboker yom shishi. So too is Shulchan Aruch paskins that we should get ready and prepare for Shabbos already on Friday morning with alacrity. Minhag tov l'isha lashkim bayom shishi la'afos chalos l'chvod Shabbos l'hafrish mehen chala, and it is a beautiful minhag for the woman of the household on Friday to get up early and to bake challah in honor of the Shabbos, so also that she could separate the challah and get the mitzvah of separating challah. Anyone who's ever been to our house knows that that's perhaps the first thing you smell when you come into our house at any time early on Friday morning. And even though one should be involved in the preparations for Shabbos early Friday morning, nonetheless, that should not become such a priority that it would take place before davening. If someone has the custom of learning after davening, one should certainly learn as he normally would. And after that, he can get involved with hurrying up and taking care of the preparations for Shabbos. Unless there is a concern that perhaps if he doesn't get to the store early enough, there won't be the adequate amount of items that he needs for Shabbos, then one can certainly go before davening in that case. Nowadays also, where Friday is a short day, no matter what time Shabbos is during the year, I always feel like Friday is a half a day. Now, when Shabbos starts around lunchtime, I speak facetiously, but now that Shabbos starts in the 4 o'clock area, it certainly is a very short day. The Acharonim write, it's better to buy Shabbos food on Friday than on Thursday, because it's more recognizable and more apparent that the purchases you're making on Friday are specifically for Shabbos. And there's a further reason that's given. In the days of old, when they did not have a refrigeration process, so they didn't have the ability to keep things overnight necessarily, so they would buy things on Friday so they could cook them and have it fresh for Shabbos. Ulam gam az, the kavachomer hayom, but then, and certainly today, ma'acholim sheitachan shalim tzem b'yom shishi, o shachanasam lakach zman meruba, adif liknos b'yom chamishi. If there are foods that are not available on Friday and only available on Thursday, or if they take a long time to prepare, then certainly it's better to prepare them and purchase them on Thursday. Isha she'omdos b'faneh shtei efsharios. If you have a woman and in front of her, there are two possibilities. Lavashelas ha'acholim b'yom shishi lios ayefa b'leila Shabbos, or lavashlam b'yom chamishi u'lishamram mekrer l'kinais l'Shabbos benachas. Interesting question here. What's better, to make yourself meshug in the kitchen all day Friday and then come into Shabbos ausgewebt, as they say in French, meaning to be extremely tired? Or should she make the preparations on Thursday, put them in the refrigerator, and this way she can come into Shabbos with a little peace of mind, not being completely crazed? What say you? The Rav says, Adif shetigmor es habishulam b'yom chamishi, V'rak ma'at min hachonos tashil yom shishi. Better that she should prepare it on Thursday, have a little bit more peace of mind, and do some of the preparations on Friday. Why? Mishum mitzvah hikarisi l'chabedes haShabbos l'anga. The main mitzvah of Shabbos is to honor it and to enjoy it. L'shem kach choshev shetia iranit v'ninocha. Better that she should be awake and in a good mood and in good spirits rather than being completely wiped out. Again, this is just yet another example of the Rav's very practical approach to halacha and something that applies to each and every one of us today. We continue. Yesh mishpachos shemerov metach laspik es kol hachonas ad knitzas haShabbos yom shishi hofech etzam liyom shel atzbanut v'ktatos. There are some households that are just simply bananas on a Friday. There's so many things that have to be done, and what happens is there's so much stress and anxiety, and it leads to all different types of disputes and fights or whatnot. V'afasatam v'yitzahara mu'ravam b'zeh shelfnei knisas Shabbat Shalom misawer hakoch shekeneged l'ara kasem achlokas l'mnom yisrael l'kabbalas haShabbos karoi. So this is the work of the Yitzhahara, the evil inclination, the Satan, that before we could even say Shabbat Shalom, they are removing the peace in the house by creating all sorts of arguments and machlokas. V'chein musupar b'Talmud, the Gemara in Gittin tells us, al b'nei zug echad shebechol shavua samach nichzas haShabbos hayu miskotetin be'ofen ayom v'nora. There was one couple that every single week, as soon as Shabbos was about to come in, they would have a terrible, terrible fight. Hizdam Reb Meir l'makamam. Reb Meir came to their place. V'meshech shlosha shavuos b'chol erev Shabbos shah b'veisam. And through the course of 3 weeks, on erev Shabbos, on Friday afternoon, he stayed in their home. Ad sheheshchin shalom beinehem, until he was able to make peace in the home. Shoma bas kol mipi ha'mekatreg vayli shegershi Rabbi Meir mibayezeh. The Yitzhahara heard this, and with great consternation said, Oy Gevalt, that Rabbi Meir chased me out of this house. Al manashel alotes l'mekatreg makom, tzorach l'tachnen heteves hachonos l'Shabbos, k'dei shnuchel l'kabbalas haShabbos mitoch nachas v'simcha. So in order to prevent this from happening, we have to make sure that when the preparations for Shabbos are taking place, they have to be done so in such a way that there is nachas, there is simcha, there is happiness, there is joy. Very often you'll find people playing special music in the background, making it a lively atmosphere, one that makes people excited for Shabbos. Yeshno minhag kadosh. The Rav concludes this paragraph with a very holy custom. Ligmar es kol hachonos l'Shabbos ad chatzos hayom, to finish all the preparations for Shabbos already at midday. Ula'achar mikan la'noach v'lasok b'limud Torah l'kras haShabbos, and to rest or to learn Torah as we get ready for Shabbos. V'kol hanoed kach zocha l'kabbalas haShabbos mitoch nachas v'simcha. And whoever can follow this custom will merit to accept the Shabbos with tremendous nachas, with tremendous simcha. V'zocher lahargishas haneshama ha'yisera shemitavasefes lo b'Shabbos. And you will really feel the arrival of your extra neshama that comes on Shabbos. Now, I understand this is hardly practical, particularly if you have a lot of moving parts in your home, you have a lot of company, God willing. There's a lot of things that need to be taken care of. And also, here, where we live in America, Friday is not a day off like it is in Israel. Friday is a regular day. People have school, people have work, back and forth. This one has to go here, this one has to go there. And it's very difficult to accomplish this. But I think the idea, the notion of going into Shabbos in the right frame of mind is extremely important. And that already is dictated by how one prepares for Shabbos. If we prepare with the notion that we are preparing nachas and simcha, and it's not stressful and it's not full of anxiety, if we're able to do that, then we enter Shabbos in the right frame of mind, and we will hopefully remain the entire Shabbos in the right frame of mind as well. So I thank you all for listening today. Please don't forget to go out and vote today if you have not already done so, as our civic duty and the great privilege that we have here in this country, the United States of America. We'll see you again next time on Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rav Eliezer Melamed Shlit'a.